heritage area hosted a summit for 250th anniversary planning. And for years, I've monitored both state and national commissions for the 250th. And in fact, I serve on one of the state subcommittees. And one of the prevailing themes is that commemorations must be planned and organized at the grassroots level. But the grassroots partners weren't being informed. So that's what we did on Tuesday in our heritage area. We got the president of America's 250th Foundation to come. We also had top officials from Maryland's 250th Commission and the American Association for State and Local History semi-quincentennial manager was with us. And we pulled together 60 key partners from throughout our heritage area, including terrific representation from Washington County. And we began to consider how our partners can forge creative partnerships, widen their networks, and embrace projects that will provide a legacy of enduring impact for all Americans, centered on this 250th national anniversary. The anniversary year is 2026, and it's imperative to prompt planning across the heritage area now so that we're using this occasion to build that stronger future, identify projects that will speak to all 250 years of history and more, and where all residents and travelers to our heritage area will find their place in the visitor experiences and the preserved, built, and natural environment. So as a heritage area, we use this summit to explain our role as a catalyst and a convener for 250th anniversary purposes, but serving 3 large counties with 2 employees and a budget of about $300,000 and having very full plates already doing the work that we do, our capacity to keep the 250th energy going throughout the region is limited. So should the opportunity arise for you to amend or to help with an amendment of that one-time appropriation to get a little closer to that 1.3 million that we asked for, or that would allow $100,000 per heritage area, that would be very much appreciated, not only by my organization, but by all the entities in Washington County that look to us for assistance. So I'm limiting my comments today to the budget. And again, I want to share my thanks for the support that has been steadfast from the Washington County delegation. Soon you're going to be getting a flurry of requests for letters of support from all those grant applicants that I mentioned. And I also want to thank you for helping our partners in that way. So I'd be happy to answer any questions about what I've shared or any other aspect of our work. And again, thank you for this opportunity.
Thanks, Liz. We do appreciate the work that you do in bringing history alive in our counties. So, and I know it's tough, but it's kind of ironic that you come to us and ask for money, and then we in turn send folks to you to ask for money. So I appreciate all that.
It's the way it works.
I appreciate all that you're able to do with the limited funds. It has made a big difference, and I think economic tourism and stuff and all in the counties. And hopefully you're able to sign on as well with the Save Our Salute. That's a big event, as you know, annually, and at the battlefield, and we'd love to see that return there as well. Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Shetto? I do not see any hands raised. So thanks, Liz, and we'll do what we can to help you out.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Next up, we have Janet Davis with the Chesapeake Bay Trust.
Hi, thank you so much for your time today. I'm here with Suzanne Richards, who I think I see on the Zoom. She represents the agricultural plate. And we thought we would today we do this about once a year, and explain to you what the 2 license plates do in your districts. We're not here with an ask today, just more of an offer, really, especially for the trust, because we're a grant-making organization. But so we are the Bay Plate people, and for us, the Bay means all the way to the Western Maryland, all the way to the Eastern Shore. We do a lot in Washington County and would love to do more. So as I give you a little background on the trust, would love for you to think about constituents in your districts who might benefit from some grant funds from the Chesapeake Bay Trust. I'm going to share my screen really quickly. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. It's not enabled. If it does become enabled, Krista, if you wouldn't mind just letting me know and I'll try again. But the
You
Chesapeake
should be able to do that.
I'm sorry.
She
Okay.
should be able to allow you to share screen. Hold on a second.
Sure. I can give a little bit of the background while that's happening. The Chesapeake Bay Trust was created by you all in 1985 as a way to reach groups on the ground. State agencies are great, government can do a lot, but often, as you all know, constituent groups on the ground can do a lot more. And we want to improve the quality of our streams in Western Maryland, our forests, our other natural resources. We want to get people outdoors to be able to enjoy them. So we fund a lot of K through 12 environmental education work. So your teachers are getting their kids out on field trips with funding from the Bay Plate. We fund a lot of tree planting activities. The General Assembly created, as part of the Climate Solutions Now Act of last year, a urban trees program, and Washington County grantees actually got 2 of those awards last year. And we fund a lot of community groups, churches, synagogues, mosques, schools, homeowners associations to do any kind of outdoor resource project on their grounds.
Screen sharing is on, Ms. Davis.
Wonderful. I'm going to quickly show. So every year you will get an annual report from us that looks like this. And in it, we list all of the grants that we've made with the Chesapeake Bay license plate and other sources. And these are examples of grants that have been given to recipients in Washington County over the last 10 years or so. It's close to $1 million. The City of Hagerstown and Antietam Creek Watershed Alliance both got grants last year through the Urban Trees Grant Program to plant trees in urban areas. And you can see it's a mix of nonprofits, school systems, local jurisdictions, et cetera, that get grants from us. We also run the Chesapeake Conservation Corps program, again, partly supported with Bay Plate money and part supported with other resources. And we would love for you, if you have nonprofit organizations, they don't have to be environmental. In fact, we love having non-environmental hosts in the Chesapeake Conservation Corps. They would obviously have to do something that's related to natural resources, but if you have host organizations, not-for-profits, either local governments or nonprofits, they can apply to have a young person work with them for a year. And if you know of young people 18 to 25 who want a year of service, it's a stipend-supported program. That proposal application process is open now. Please send folks our way. And Senator Corderman, both of these programs were discussed last week at the Senate EBA budget hearing, so they might sound a little familiar. But that's what the Bay Plate does in your neck of the woods. And I'll turn it over to Suzanne to talk about the Ag Tag and what the Ag Tag does in your neck of the woods.
Thank you, Jana, and good morning, everyone. I'm Suzanne. I'm with the Maryland Agricultural Education Foundation, which are these beautiful little license plates. And I don't know if I can share my screen. Oh, it looks like I can. So I just have a few very quick slides to share with you with the Ag Tag. Because MAIF was established to be able to support opportunities to learn about agriculture and pursue careers in agriculture in Maryland through education. So the state's economic impact for agriculture is over $20 billion each year. And in Western Maryland, agriculture and natural resources have an economic impact of $3.6 billion in economic activity each year, with about 20,000 jobs supported. So agriculture, the environment, natural resources, lots of opportunities out there. MAIF does work in the elementary schools, secondary schools, post-secondary. We do professional development for teachers. We do sponsorships and scholarships. We also have the Maryland FFA Association as part of our organization. So lots of different ways that we reach out, try to give people the opportunity to learn more about agriculture and what it means in their lives. So we also provide resources to the public through some different partnerships that we have. We have mobile showcases like the one you see on the screen here that we send to public events. And then we also provide leadership and opportunities for leadership development in the agricultural community. So in Western Maryland, excuse me, our mobile science labs visited 12 schools. Last year, we have mobile labs that go to a school. It has a science lab inside the large trailer. Students come out class by class. They get to do a hands-on science lesson that is related to agriculture. Let's see if we've got people in front of the actual, there we go. A lab in a box program for when we're not able to send an actual physical lab. We have a box kit that we can send out, and a teacher can lead the students through the science projects in that. We have Ag Literacy Week with 100 students being reached last year, and then FFA chapters at Boonesboro High and Middle School, Clear Spring, Fort Hill, Smithsburg, South Hagerstown, and Washington County Tech. So lots of activity out there. And then finally, I just wanted to share with you that there are a lot of opportunities to study agriculture in the post-secondary realm. This was the list that we pulled up last night, and you can see there are quite a lot of opportunities to study either agriculture, the environment, environmental services, natural resources. The list is bigger, I think, than most people realize. So we support those efforts, and we appreciate your support of the Ag Tag. I'm going to stop sharing and take any questions that you might have.
Thank you both. We appreciate the presentation and all the assistance provided to our counties through these two programs. So anyone have any questions?
I do want to mention we have 2 scholarships that are open right now through April 1st. One is for a student who is pursuing a degree in agriculture. The other one is for a college junior or senior or postgraduate student who is pursuing a degree in agricultural education or extension, basically education. So those are students who have really chosen their path, basically. And both of those are available. Applications are open on our website, which is mafonline.com.
Do they have to be schools in Maryland or anywhere?
They do not have to be schools in Maryland. In the case of the agriculture one, there is a preference for a student who's attending the Institute of Applied Agriculture at the University of Maryland, but we have given, if we don't have a student applicant from that, then we have given to other locations.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, thank you both. I suspect Suzanne will see you this evening.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I should have mentioned that. Taste of Maryland Egg tonight. I'm bringing the oysters, so.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You'll be popular this evening, I'm sure.
I think so.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all.
Next up, under old business, just update you all on the sheriff's salary bill. As recall, that ties it to a percentage of the state's attorney's salary. That bill's filed. We have a hearing date of Valentine's Day in Environment and Transportation. So as a reminder, that bill was filed last year, passed the House, did not pass the Senate. Electrical Board, that bill has also been filed. There were some questions regarding the language yesterday from some constituents in regards to what is meant by a restricted electrician. So the county attorney is going to follow up on that and figure out if it needs to be amended or not. The folks that were in my office didn't feel that the language was tied properly to the changes that were made to state level, and they were fearful that it was creating another class of electrician. So I know that wasn't the county's intent. It was strictly to conform the local ordinance to what the changes were made in the state law. So it's been filed, but there may be some revisions to that. The Class 9 distillery, you all do have a draft in front of you for that. There was a question in regards to the language there, because it basically says that it uses the term a person, and our local our local liquor board had questioned whether that language should state something other than a person, but the bill drafter followed up with us, and a person is pretty inclusive of an individual, an association, a partnership, corporation, trust, or any other entity basically is covered by that. So I think the term "a person" in the language is probably appropriate. So it's a very simple bill. It simply allows the Class 9 distilleries to sell direct and not have to go through a wholesaler. Does anyone have any questions on that bill? If there are no questions, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is that Senator Corderman?
Yes.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve by Senator Corderman. Is there a second?
Second, Delegate Grossman.
Second by Delegate Grossman. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. Thank you all. We'll get that bill dropped. Collective bargaining, you also have a draft of that. I know it's a little more involved, but basically it gives collective bargaining rights to both patrol officers as well as correctional deputies. Both sections basically read the same, giving that a county authority to, if they wish to recognize a bargaining authority for those groups. Any questions on that bill?
I have one minor question.
Yes, Delegate.
Sure. So in this bill, it calls out by number the sheriff's salary, and we haven't
Oh,
completed the
last
sheriff.
bill.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that's
No.
in the collective bargaining bill, it actually calls out the sheriff's salary by number.
Oh, it does?
Yes, it says the sheriff will be paid $100,000
Oh.
more. And I
Well,
just
that-
was curious, since we hadn't completed that process, if that was appropriate, or should we address that?
Well, that's actually language that's included in this draft, but it's not being changed by this bill. So the items in bold are the items that have been added or changed. That obviously amount would change if the other bill passes. So
Okay.
that sheriff's salary is not affected by the language of this bill,
Sure,
if that makes sense.
it does. I just was calling out that what is going in this bill may change based upon the other bill we've put forward.
Yep. Yeah, that's existing language, and you're correct. That will change if that's passed. Any other questions regarding the language of the bill? Seeing none, is there a motion to move forward?
So moved.
A motion by Senator Corderman. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Delegate Valentine. Any further discussion? All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. Thank you all. We will get that bill dropped. The VEEP bill that had been submitted to drafting, we do not have a draft back yet, so we'll still wait on that one. And then the Board of Ed, it was kind of a late request, but it was asking for exclusion of government entities from the Time to Care Act. And I know there'll be a lot of amendments to that act outside of this request. So my guess is that there'll potentially be opportunities to amend the bill if the draft language of this request isn't done, since we missed the deadline, I think, by one day. We also have, we talked a little bit last week about drafting a letter for Save the Salute. You all do have a draft copy of that letter. Anyone have any suggestions to improve upon it, or are we good with it? Is there a motion to approve the draft?
I'll make a motion to approve the draft.
Second.
Motion by Delegate Valentine, second by Delegate Baker. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I know that all of us are fully aware of the importance of this event to our county, and hopefully the secretary can act positively to restore the event to the battlefield. What's that?
You can do all in favor.
I know I'm going to do that now. So
You're quick.
we will take a vote. All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed to the letter? Thank you, Delegate Baker, for keeping me on task.
You got off task there a little bit.
I have no new business on the agenda. Is there anything that any members of the delegation would like to bring up under new business? Seeing none, everyone's quiet this morning. And then last on the agenda, certainly not least, we have an opportunity for the public to comment. Is there anyone joining us today from the public? You're please welcome to comment at this time. We just ask that you state your name and address for the record. Everyone's bashful this morning. So seeing none, is there a motion for adjournment? Motion by Delegate Baker. Is there a second?
I'll make,
Second by Delegate Valentine. Thank you all. We're adjourned.